I think we can go across to the management of PG Electroplast now. The stock is down about 10% once again after falling over 20% on Friday. Shocking guidance cut coming in from the management. We have Vikas Gupta, Managing Director at PG Electroplast, who's with us. Vikas, good morning. Great to have you with us here on the program. Thank you for joining us. You've got, I'm sure, lots of questions around what has happened, what has transpired. Let's just start with what happened, Vikas, because the guidance cut from you came as a large shock to the market, as you can well imagine, even at the end of the last quarter, not this quarter, the previous quarter, there was enough and plenty indication that the AC season is going to be weak. We heard it from OEMs that we speak with. We heard it from others as well, that generally things are looking a little weakish. The season is not going to be all that great. But we've heard it from you after the quarter has ended. So let's just start there. What happened?
Good morning, Prashant. It's always a pleasure to be on your show. So basically, I'll try to first answer the question on the quarter one head on. That is a more important thing, that how it played out. So, everybody was expecting that the overall AC sales will rebound in months of June and July. In fact, we were operating at more than full capacity in months of April and May. And it was looking very, very, very like the momentum was going in our favor. But actually, as the channel inventory built up, and there was no rebound in the sales for the air conditioners, the secondary sales of the air conditioners in the months of July and August, as we are seeing now. So we had to revise our guidance accordingly.
But Mr. Gupta, sir, if you allow me to ask you this, and you've been in the business for so long, right? And you'd know this, and I know it's more, you're in B2B sales, but in general, the peak months where the best offtake for ACs happens is actually much earlier. I mean, February, March, that's where people start buying to build up for the summer months. In fact, if anything, June and July usually, it's not the peak season, isn't that so? So how is it that you didn't see this building? Because from fan makers to cooler makers to AC makers, Blue Star, Crompton, everybody was telling us that it's a weak summer and expect a sluggish Q1. So how did you not see it?
So Surbi, let me clarify on that. If you look at the peak months for the production for a company like ours, start in fact in month of November, December. So we start ramping our productions in month of November, December, and the sales and the brands also start picking up the inventory from our factories. And the channel partners also start picking up the inventory, and that's the primary sales which start happening in months of January, February, March. So there is a lot of anticipation in the channel, in the industry, that the sales will be good. So that's why everybody built up the inventory for that. So as we progressed in the month of May also, we were hoping that the market will improve, the demand will improve. We were having the order book, we were having the forecast from our brands, our customers, that was quite robust, and we were building on it. And we were believing that numbers, and we were going ahead with those production numbers. So it was only later in the month of June that we saw that the secondary sales are not picking up and the channel inventory is becoming huge. And that's when the demand from the brands fell off the cliff for us. And we realized that we are sitting on a huge inventory for us.
Got it. So I'll tell you what, I think what has compounded the problem, I'm sure there was some misreading of the situation. Very clearly that's happened. But what's compounded the problem from a stock market and your investor perspective is that all of this has happened when you as promoters have sold stake in the market. And that has a business hit is one thing, and business hits always happen. It's a cyclical business. So just explain this to us, and I'm repeating for the benefit of viewers. March 25, promoter shareholding 49.37% as on the Bombay Stock Exchange. End of June quarter, promoter shareholding 43.72%. So when people tie this together, they're saying, what is this? Why won't we give in an advance warning? So many companies do business updates. You could have given an advance early indication. Could you not have done that? Was that a miss?
So Surbi, like the optics and the timing looks like that, and it is unfortunate that it is looking like that. Please understand, as I told you earlier, the May month also we were operating at more than our capacity. The sales were looking good. And the block deal that the promoters have done does not change our outlook on the business. The long-term outlook on the business remains intact. And we have done the QIP also. We have raised 1,500 crores from the investors, from the marquee set of investors in December 2024. So we are already working on those capex guidelines that we have given earlier. We are building on our new product diversification. We are working the new launch of product platforms. We are building up new capacities. So the long-term story of the business remains intact. It cannot be impacted by the one single week summer.
All right. Hi, Mr. Gupta. Good morning. Thanks a lot for joining in. Mr. Gupta, you have created big wealth for investors over the last 5 years. The problem is what has just happened. So let's get a couple of those questions out of the way. You have guided for a net profit of around 310 crores for this fiscal. Is there a downside risk to that number?
So, Nigel, as of now, we do not see any downside risk to that number. So definitely the margins are getting impacted. We know that. But as of now, we do not see any downward risk to that.
Because even after this correction, you're still at 15,000 crores of market cap, which doesn't make the stock very cheap. So that's why investors will be fretting if in case that 310 crores of net profit guidance will be missed. You're saying no as of now, right?
So, Nigel, if you've seen the history of the company, we have been always trying to outperform the guidance.
Correct.
So we will try to do that.
The problem, sir, is you're best remembered for your last performance. And the last performance has been a little bit jittery. So hopefully you find your form yet again. So that question out of the way. Next, your promoter holding from around 65% because of dilution, the QIP, because of the block deal, it's come down to 43%. Now, I'll tell you what, analysts will say this and that, buy and sell side will say this and that, but the promoter is the best analyst on a stock. And if he's going to back up the stock, then it's going to be important. Since this sort of an untoward event has happened, would you consider coming in there, buying 1.5%, giving some confidence to the shareholders? Because currently, all those marquee names, they are fretting a little bit. They're saying Mr. Gupta was promising us big growth, and that's not really taken place. Would that be an option?
So, Nigel, as per the block deal, I think terms, we are not allowed to do any trades for a period of 6 months. So, given an opportunity, we will definitely like to participate in that.
Exactly. So that's my next point then. 6 months down the line from that May 26th when you sold that block, will the promoter entity try to come in there, increase their stake? Because as of now, there's no visibility. Q1 has been an absolute howler. You've gone ahead and cut your guidance. Next 2 months will be plagued by discounts and heavy inventory in the system. So probably, the intent could be post this cooling off period, Mr. Gupta and family could come in there and increase stake.
So, Nigel, we will definitely participate if the time and the rules permit. We will like to look at that opportunity also. But
where would you want your stake to be, sir? Sir, it's just a question of confidence. Like Nigel said, your stake has come down from the 60s to now 43, 44%. When this window is, wherever the window opens, where do you want your stake to be in your company? How much equity do you want to own, sir?
So, Surabhi, I don't feel that we are sitting at a small stake in the company as a promoter family. If you look at our peer group, so we are sitting very decently at the kind of stake that we have in our company. And as I told you, that we are fully committed to this business.
Right, Vikas, got that. So it's not, no, absolutely. It's the incremental change which was the promoters sold. That was the point. When you met investors in May for this for the promoter stake sale, you're saying there was no indication at all of the fact that this is, and all this happened in the month of June. That's what you're saying.
So I told you, Prashant, what happened. We were already running full steam in month of April and May and June as well.
Okay.
So we were hoping that the recovery of the demand will happen. It didn't happen that way.
Okay. Now, Vikas, how by this inventory that you're sitting in, by when will this return to normalized inventory?
So for us, the normalized level of inventory is almost a 1 month production. So we feel that by the month of October or November, we should be normalizing the inventory levels to a level of 1 month production. So we already have some kind of indication from the customers for the coming season, and we are working with them to see how to recover the situation.
October, November is when inventory gets back to the standard normal 1 month sort of inventory, right? Inventory level.
Yes.
So 2 quarters. I mean, you've got to basically bear for 2 quarters in that sense. That's the way to look at it from here. Now, could you give us a sense of margins as well? 125 to 150 basis point cut in margin guidance. What levers do you have? Where do you see margins basically from here on? And what levers can you use to restore margins to FY25 levels? Vikas.
So please understand, currently the margins have been impacted. There are broadly 3 factors that have impacted the margins. First is the finance cost. With the kind of inventory that was there in the system, the whole working capital was tied up, and that we had to use a lot of discounting and factoring to manage our cash flow. Secondly, please understand the AC season is a highly seasonal. The profitability is highly seasonal. We usually make our money in the peak months. Then we have to manage our fixed costs during the lean months. But in the current year, as the summer season shortened and the sales fell off, so the number of lean months have gone up. So we have to manage our cost on that, and that has an impact on the margins.
Sure.
So that is where the operating leverage actually turns against us in this case. So we are trying to see how to recover from that situation. Thirdly, the input costs have also gone up. The dollar exchange rate and the copper tubing, everything had an impact on the margins as well.
Sure. So I just want to go back to that point. I think that'll be very, very reassuring for your investors to know. You said that you're committed to the business. I ask that question again, sir. What is the level of equity shareholding that the promoter family wants to maintain, even when the regulatory window opens up again? You're right now at just under 44%.
So, Surbi, if you look at when we did our QIP of 1,500 crores, our shareholding went below 50%. So in our case, in our family, there was a lot of discussion on that, whether we should lower our stake in the company below 50% or not. But we have to see what is the good for the company and how we can grow our company. Even if that required for us to dilute our stake below 50%, we went ahead and did that. And we felt that was a better thing to do for the company in the long run. So the equity holding of the promoters is, I think, 43% or 45% or 47% does not make any difference. It is that the commitment of the promoter family towards the business is more important.
No, absolutely, sir. I mean, your point is well taken. There are completely professional companies with very low promoter holding. And the IT sector is an example of that. But investors do take that as some indicator of what's coming. If the promoter is lowering the holding, who are the bigger institutional investors? Therefore, I ask that question. Will you maintain it at least 44%? Could it go down? Would you want to go up towards the 50 mark? What is the intent of the promoter family right now?
So, Surbi, the intent of the promoter family is clearly to look at how to grow the business. We will be engaging with our long-term investors. We will be meeting them in coming days and try to reassure them how the business is going to play out in coming months and coming years. That is more important. 1 week summer cannot define the destiny of the company.
All right. Mr. Gupta, so growth is what you're focusing on. And since you told us, that we could look at some of the peer companies as well. Amber is one peer that has 40% of promoter holding. But the last quarter, their growth was phenomenal, in terms of year-on-year growth. But it appears the industry itself went through a bit of a weak phase. That said, what about the compressor? That facility is what we have been looking forward to. That deadline has got pushed actually numerous times. And we have chatted in better times as well on this channel itself. Tell us, what is the date? Which quarter onwards do you expect things to start moving ahead?
So, Nigel, for the compressor thing, we do acknowledge that it has been delayed, and it has been delayed quite a lot. But from our side, we have done our bit. We have constructed the building. We are ready with that. We have already evaluated all the RFQs for the equipment or the plant and machinery that we need to buy. We are just waiting for certain approvals. Our Chinese partner is waiting for certain approvals at their end. As soon as they come, we will be placing the orders for the equipment and everything. Definitely, the timelines have been pushed now again. So we are hoping to have certain kind of clarity from our partner in month of October.
Okay. So FY27 is the safer timeline, Vikas?
So FY27 definitely looks better.
Yeah, okay. For this compressor JV to kickstart in that sense. I just had two more questions. Are there, other AC-related stocks are also coming off sharply? I think you were mentioning that what you've seen in this summer in terms of AC sales is the worst since 2008, Vikas?
Yes, Prashant. Yes.
Yeah, 2008 was the GFC. I mean, of course, there were other factors then at play as well. Has something really, is there any reason for demand to crater like this, as you see it?
So I please understand, Prashant, like if you look at the last year, when the demand went through the roof, so nobody could anticipate that time also, like how the market is going to behave and how market actually behaved. And there was the talk in the market that there was a shortage of the inventory in the channel, and there was a lost opportunity of more than 1 million or 2 million ACs which could have been sold because of the shortage of the inventory. So it is very difficult to anticipate, but please understand, there is a lot of impulsive buying of air conditioners still in India. And as there is a longer dry spells, the people tend to go and buy ACs. That is something that needs to maybe change over a period of time. But if you look at the long-term story, I say again, the long-term story for this business looks very robust. We should not try to define this business on the basis of single summer. So we have to look at that way.
All right, Mr. Gupta, very quickly before we let you go, will you consider buyback? I'm not sure about the regulations, but you can't buy from the open market. Since the stock has crashed in this manner, you have lowered your capex as well. Is a buyback something that you all could think about?
So no, so we will be like the current capex is already going ahead. So there is not a scope of buyback that we are looking at. We are going ahead, building our capabilities. We are not stopping here.
Yes, got it, Mr. Gupta. We appreciate you joining in, fielding all those questions. As you're saying, the longer term, you'll have your focus on the industry is going through a bit of a weak phase, but you're coaxing your investors to keep the faith. We'll hold you to these numbers, and we look forward to chatting up with you, sir. But for the past quarter, it's been very, very disappointing for your investor community. And as we speak, the stock is down close to 15%.
Okay, so that is PG Electroplast. Market still has more questions. Let's see. Management has given lots of answers. We'll see how this plays out earlier.